and give us a constant airspeed descent at 65 miles an hour. How do we accomplish that in the Cub? Very similar to the 172. You bring the carburetor heat on, because you're going to go below 2,000 RPMs. You set the power to 1,500, just like you do in a typical descent in the 172. And you pitch for 65, just like you pitch for 80 knots in the 172.
Ceiling 3,000 overcast, temperature 3 Celsius.
You can see the airport just over the nose.
The altitude missing.
See the hangars? Yeah. Okay, well, which way do you think you got to crab now to get to that airport?
To the left.
Yeah, okay. Don't say it like you're surprised. To the left, yeah. You're going to crab to the left, so let's do it. Otherwise, we're going to get drifted to the right of that airport. Airport's there, wind's coming out of there, drifting us to the right if we don't set a crab angle to make it to that airport. Keep it in a 65 mile an hour descent. Keep that nose where you want it. Don't let it wallow all around the sky, and keep it in the position you want it vertically so you keep your 65 mile an hour descent going here. Now, too much crab and you're going to actually fly over there. So if you have too much in, you're going to take a little bit out. Just readjust. Maybe you want to be pointing to Upper Yards Creek. And that should be enough crab angle to neutralize drift and get you to the airport. Maintain a 65 mile an hour descent. A bug just flew into our pitot tube. What do we lose?
Airspeed.
Maintain a 65 mile an hour descent. Blairstown traffic, Cub is 4 miles to the south. We're inbound Blairstown, descending through 2,500. Notice that crab angle's working real good to get us to the airport.
UX, Blairstown Test Airport, VFR Automated Weather Advisory, wind 040, at 4, visibility 10, sky condition, ceiling 3,000 overcast, temperature 3 Celsius, altimeter 3002, density altitude missing.
Now, did you see how your speed is? With the nose down that much, look at your speed. It's 80 miles an hour. So we want a 65 mile an hour descent. Let's learn where that pitch needs to be for a typical descent at 65 with the power set at 1,500. Nose needs to be a little higher than it was, right? So we reset that. If you need to trim the airplane, you can of course trim the airplane. It has trim. It's not as convenient as 172 trim. It's not needed as often either because the speed range is so small. But if you're holding the nose up, you can roll that wheel back a little bit. Yeah, you're getting closer to 65. Pitch and power equals performance. You're going to level out here at 1,500 feet and we're going to go around the traffic pattern. That's not the traffic pattern in the Cub, but we want to stay a little high here on purpose to get a little more wind effect for this rectangular course we're going to do and to do the forward slip to landing. Hey, when you think you're about halfway up the wing strut from the runway, the grass runway we'll use for landing here, you turn onto the upwind. And you're leveling out here at 1,565. You got to do that without your airspeed indicator. No problem. You know what the pitch should be. You know what the power should be. Blairstown traffic, Cub turning onto the left upwind 7. Blairstown. power equals performance. You want to maintain a ground track that parallels that runway. So you want to set a crab angle to make that happen. That house in the open field over there is what we basically want to track to be parallel with the runway. Notice where we got to point the nose to get to that house. Again, the wind's coming from our left, so look at the crab angle we're holding.
I'm holding it okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fly right to that house. Go right over the top of that house. Look at your speed. Nice job on the airspeed without the gauge. It's right there. Pitch and power equals performance. Fly right over the top of that house, holding the appropriate crab angle. Don't crab too much or you're going to go left of the house. Don't crab too little or you're going to get pushed right of the house. You want to go right over the top of that house. Wind effect on ground track. You're tracking a little left of it, so take out a tad of crab angle. Turn a little bit towards the house. Got too much crab angle in, you're going left of the house. So you take out a little crab and then you reset. That's called bracketing the course. Making little heading changes to make your course line come true. Maintaining 1,500 feet and 65 miles an hour. There we are, right over the top of the house with the appropriate crab angle. 1,500 feet though and 65 miles an hour. Speed's great, altitude's 200 feet low. Blairstown traffic, Cub turning left crosswind 7 Blairstown. Okay, you need full power to climb. Give it full power. Yeah, you want to track perpendicular to that runway, like a T-shape to that runway, which way you need to be crabbed. If at all. You need to be crabbed a little bit to the left, right? Because the wind's probably coming out of there, pushing us to the town. So we're crabbed slightly to the left. Not too much though, because we're virtually going into the wind at this point. So we won't need as much crab angle as we needed on the upwind over there.
UX, Blairstown Test Airport, VFR Automated Weather Advisory, winds calm, visibility 10, sky condition, ceiling 3,000 overcast, temperature 3 Celsius, altimeter 3002, density altitude missing.
Blairstown traffic, Cub turning left downwind 7 Blairstown. Okay, we want 1,500 feet, we want 65 miles an hour. We want to maintain halfway up the wing strut from the paved runway. To do that, we're going to be needing to set a crab angle, which is going to be which way, or right or left?
Right.
Okay. 1,500 feet, 65 miles an hour. Now normally the pattern altitude in the Cub is 1,200, 800 feet over the ground. We're just purposely staying a couple of 100 feet high to get a little more wind effect here for this ground reference maneuver called the rectangular course. And because I want to stay on high on purpose to do a prolonged forward slip here and show you a forward slip. Okay, we get halfway. By the time we're halfway down the runway, we should have run carb heat and gumps. Carburetor heat's on, gumps check, gas is good, undercarriage does not apply, mixture does not apply, prop does not apply, seatbelts are on. Okay, we're at beam to number 7. How do you bring the Cub down for landing? You bring the power down to 1,300. You bring the nose back, nose up rather, to achieve 55 miles an hour. and you descend all the way around at 55 miles an hour. No bleeding off speed like in the 172 from 80 to 70 to 60. You just put it at 55, lose about 100 feet on the downwind, then you turn your base, keeping that speed at 55. It's pitch for airspeed, it's power for altitude. Turning your base leg here, holding your base leg, adjusting your crab angle for wind drift. Coming down at 55. Now, obviously, if we were really trying to land, we bring the power to idle right now because we would want to get it down. So let's go ahead and do that. Power to idle. Turn into final. We still find ourselves high. We want to get down to that white stripe. So what can we do? We can forward slip it. You yaw the nose one way, typically away from the wind, and you bank into the wind. So since the wind's coming from our left,
You do it.
I am doing it. We'll yaw left, and we'll bank right. Notice how we come down like a rock without picking up a lot of airspeed.
Okay, so your right foot is on the rudder, and the
Your
left
feet are always on the rudders. You're pressing on the right rudder
Pressing on the
pedal,
right.
and then you're banking to the left. Okay, we're going to go around now. Power up, pitch up, clean up. Get the carb heat off. Achieve a 55-mile-an-hour climb out. You yaw the nose one way with rudder, in this case right rudder, and then you're banking it the other way to expose a lot of the fuselage to the relative wind, which allows you to descend steeply without picking up airspeed.
and center line is good.
The entering on the 45 to the left, downwind 3077.
Normally we'll turn crosswind in the Cub at 900 feet because we fly the pattern at 1200 feet. You always turn crosswind 300 feet below pattern altitude. We're going straight out a little higher here so we can turn around and come right back in on 25. So give us a left-hand turn here. Blairstown traffic, Cub is simulated engine out to 25, Blairstown. Okay, here we are. We have an engine out. Carb heat on. What do we do in an engine out? Go fast, best glide speed, get it to 55 miles an hour. Observe and fly the landing area, we've already got that done. F, fuel, maybe this got knocked off. A, air, maybe the carb heat's not on. None of that's working. S, spark, maybe we maneuver that, it helps. Nothing's working, so now we gotta forward slip it. Since the wind's coming out of the north, let's yaw it left, and then bank it right. Yaw it left, follow me through here, bank it right. Forward slip. You don't want to raise the nose too much because you wouldn't want to stall in this configuration, but you also don't want to lower the nose too much and pick up too much airspeed. We're coming down like a rock without picking up a lot of speed, coming right down to our aim point. Okay, kick it out now with right rudder, and let's go around. Power up, pitch up, clean up. Carburetor heat off. That's part of the power up. Pitch up, just enough to get the thing climbing, and clean up if there's anything to clean up like flaps or something.
And then climb out at 55.
Yep, and adjust crab angle. Wind's coming from our right. We better get a turn into our right here. We're going to get drifted right into this tree line. Okay, that's enough. Roll out. And there you are. You're tracking to that ridgeline drop-off way out there, but you're pointed right of it. Wings level, ball centered. Simply holding a crab angle. Okay, we're going to do this one like a normal pattern this time. 900 feet, 300 feet below pattern altitude. We turn our crosswind. Blairstown traffic, Cub put in a left crosswind, 25, Blairstown. Watch that bank angle. You don't need such a steep bank angle in the pattern. You want to limit your bank angle in the pattern because bank angle adds load factor. Load factor increases stall speed. 20-degree bank angles is all you need in the traffic pattern. Nose also tends to drop when you bank it so steeply. When you're halfway up the wing strut from the runway, when you think you would be, you turn onto the downwind. Blairstown traffic, Cub turn to left downwind, 25 Blairstown. Continue to climb to 1,200 feet, pattern altitude. You're going to level out at altitude and airspeed, 1,265. Rolling out on the downwind with an appropriate crab angle set. Leveling out at 1,200 feet, 65 miles an hour. Running carburetor heat and gumps. Pitch attitude for normal flight, power setting for 65. What's wrong with our power setting?
2,000.
Yeah, you're going to start to sink if you don't get that power in. The only way the airplane's going to hold 65 at that power setting is to go downhill. Okay, don't put in too much crab or you'll fly too tight against the runway. And it'll be very difficult to fly a base leg because there won't be any base leg. Okay, when you beam the numbers, power goes back to 1,300. We ran carb heat and gumps. Carb heat is on. Gas, undercarriage, mixture prop. We pitched the nose for 55. Got to raise it a hair to get it to 55 miles an hour, and around we go at 55. We lost 100 feet, so we turn base leg. Blairstown traffic, Cub turn on left base. 25, Blairstown. We roll out on the base leg to hold a perpendicular ground track with the runway. Crabbing is necessary to make that happen. Base key position, we're judging our altitude. If we're high, we're taking out a little power. If we're low, we're adding a little power. If we're just right, we're keeping the power right here. Pitch